Hello, today I'm going to be talking about how to use screencasting and audio in the classroom. First, I'm going to start talking about how you can bring in screencasting in your classroom through the use of an inquiry box. So for many of you who don't know what an inquiry box is, it's just a box where students can go and put their questions in freely. Throughout the week, we'll be talking about various different subjects, and if a child comes up with a great question and I think it should go in the inquiry box for us to further discuss, I'll make a suggestion and the student can do that. So the student will submit a question, and by the end of the week, I'll select a question that we can further talk about. And on the last day of the week, we'll do a center about it. So they'll have the opportunity to do some quick research through some classic books, provided articles, and they can collaborate on a screencast to answer the question, and then they'll be able to discuss what they find with their peers. So if it's a math problem, for example, they can walk us through step by step using the Windows program Paint, and they can draw it out. Or the students can create tutorials, step by step, how to do something on the computer. They kind of share with their students what they know and basically become the teacher and share information. They can also find YouTube videos on the question of the week and share it using screencasting, or simply just create a PowerPoint and screencast it to share what they've learned with their other students. Another way we can use screencasting in the classroom is through an inquiry journal. I'll encourage the students throughout the school year to jot down questions they'll have. Any questions that the students really find interesting. At the end of the month, I'll give the students an opportunity to do some research on their questions. This will give the students a chance to draw conclusions and problem solve their own questions and produce a published form of writing that they have a personal connection with. On top of concluding their answer, they'll also form an understanding of the tech through technology and screencasting. This also will give them a chance for their peers to ask questions, and they'll also be able to show what they know through public speaking. Another way a teacher could use screencasting in their classroom is creating virtual museums into a screencast. This way, the virtual museum is pre-selected, so the teacher shows the students exactly what he or she wants them to see and hear. So they can set up the screencast, so at center time, the students will be able to see what the teacher pre-selected, and the students can answer the essential questions that the teacher has in mind for the students to do. Audio is another wonderful tool to use in the classroom. You can use audio through recording your directions and placing them at your center times. This will allow the students to listen to your directions as often as they'd like and really get a full understanding of what you're asking them. And this also allows you to have more free time. It prevents you from repeating the question over and over. Audio helpers can be used in classrooms, which kind of can help individualize learning. Along with the directions, ideas, you can set out audio helpers at center time to help students further their education. So at each center, there will be a card to notify the student what level of help they can refer to. So for example, I'll post on a note card what audio recording each student should listen to. And if Susie is at a reading level behind the class, I would recommend that she go to helper number 1, which is an audio of me giving a student more guidance. And if Johnny is at a reading level above the class, I'd recommend he go to audio number 3, which is me giving him not as much guidance. It can be difficult to track the reading levels of every student unless individually meeting with every child and listening to them read. Reading aloud is a great way to practice fluency, and through reading recordings, this will create a personalized connection with the teacher and the student. So at a given point during the day, have your child go out in the hall and do their reading, but also have them read into a recording or read into an audio tape or some device that allows them to record themselves. And at the end of the day, you can listen to how the child is reading and then kind of assess what needs to be worked on You can also do this by having the child's parents record them while they're reading, have them email it to you if they're done, so you can also assess how the child's doing. Either way, it both works. It depends on what kind of technology is available at the time. So if you don't have the availability to have reading recorders in your classroom, then maybe sending reading home with the parents would be better. But if parents in your school districts don't have that, then maybe in the classroom would be better. And lastly, following along to a book is great. Physical books that have audio recordings from the teacher or the author would be wonderful for the students to practice word recognitions. Get a book that is above the student's reading level so the students can recognize some words, but it's also challenging to them. You can also use e-readers or story apps, and they generally come with audio already in them. You can also have the student practice reading along with the text, have a physical book for the student to hold, and also have the student have audio, and have them listen to the teacher read the page first, have the student listen and read with the teacher, and then lastly, have the student read the page by himself. This will help the student recognize words, practice his fluency. So in conclusion, you can implement screencasting and audio in various different ways in your classroom to implement digital literacy. And I just mentioned a couple ways you can implement screencasting and audio, but there are so many other ways to bring it into your classroom. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. Thanks again. Bye-bye.